So, welcome back everyone to the exchange. If you are a new viewer, we thank you very much for stopping by and checking us out. If you are returning, yeah, we love you. Thank you for coming back. We know you don't have to come here. You have so many options. This is YouTube after all, but you're back with us, so thank you, and we appreciate the return.
Yep, and we are your ever gracious hosts, Charles and Trina,
Yep,
sibling duo.
sibling duo. And as we say every week, guess what? Whether you're nasty or you can't see, clean up your heart and come. Let us talk.
Yep, and we upload videos every Sunday. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe and be a part of the exchange.
Be a part of the exchange. Put them comments down below. Cause you know we have them fiery topics in us. So exchange. Yeah? Be a part of the exchange. So brother, what we are talking about this week? That one is hot. Spice.
Well, you found another interesting topic this
You
week.
know me, I'm always I find them.
Um, there's a subreddit on Reddit that says, "Am I the asshole?" So I will give you the honor of reading that particular post that someone put on there 6 days ago, which has roused a lot of commentary from the point that it has been posted till now.
So I'm going to share. Hold on, let me share. Let me share the. All right. Can we see the article? So this is on Reddit. Again, we will put the link in the description so that you can go
Yep.
look at it and read the comments. Trust me, I love comments. When I do posts on social media, I enjoy jumping in the comments because I need to see what everybody else have to say about this. So,
Comment surfing, comment lurking, same thing.
yes. So do the same thing for our comments. Go in the exchange. Be a part of the exchange. So all right, here we go. So the man say, am I an asshole for walking out the hospital after hearing my wife's diagnosis? So a brief synopsis of what this is all about. So this guy is 33 and his wife is 32, and he was on a business trip and he got called to say, hey, your wife is in the hospital. So immediately returned home, went to the hospital to like, yo, what's going on? So while he was there with her in the room, the doctor came in and he says, um, so when the doctor came in, the doctor told him, took a deep breath and told him that they did CT scans and ultrasounds and all, and his wife had ovarian cancer. And so he said, in order to save her life, what they'll have to do, they have to do a full hysterectomy. They have to, including taking out, removing the fallopian tubes and her ovary. So everything is gonna be gone. So the guy is saying that he immediately felt like overwhelmed with emotions of anger. He says anger not just because of the disease, but pent up anger from the fact that he has been begging his wife since she was 26 for them to start having children, and she refused because she wanted to pursue her career. So when the doctor delivered the news, his wife, freaking out, was saying to her, hey, we can make it through this. We
Was
can,
crying and sobbing.
yeah, crying and sobbing, we can adopt. But he said he shook his head and walked out the door. He said, I had my suitcase in the car, so I drove to the hotel because I didn't know if my wife was going to end up being discharged. And why did he do this? Because he said he wanted a real family, right? So with this cancer diagnosis, his dream of wanting a real family went out the door. And then he said, I don't even know if the woman that he married, whether this will be the woman that he's now with because of her illness. He said, whether the last picture of us together would be the last time I'd remember her looking beautiful, young, and carefree, because the wife I have in front of me now is already a different person. So he walked out, he walked away. So he said while he was there, spent a night, and he was able to gather himself and kind of collect his thoughts and process his emotions. He was very disappointed because his dreams of a family was over. And he says, I was finally able to get a grasp on my emotions and feel more normal, and know exactly like how he felt and about the situation, all that. But while he was there, he got a call from his mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law said, are you at a hotel or wherever you are? Just stay there. So that's why he's asking, is he an asshole? So brother, the, you got real passionate about this one. So you kick off the discussion.
The
Why the
reason
people
why
that
I
want
got
you passionate? Why
the
were
reason
you?
why I got passionate um was the comments that followed after he said what he said.
Oh yeah, he got
People are like, yeah, he's an asshole because how dare he walked out on his wife. She's not a baby making machine. Like these were the general consensus of most of the top comments that were on there. Like, oh, you're a selfish person because all you see is your wife is a baby making machine, and now she can't make your babies. You're upset, and basically they're going to town on this guy. Like, what he did was wrong. He was an asshole. He should have just sat down there, take it like a man. Because I've seen comments where people are like, oh, you're not a man. Like, you're not manly enough. So you should just sit down, take that news like a man, and said nothing. I have issues with that because we now live in a society where people are saying, um, as a man, we should move away from being the wall, the concrete, that don't feel no emotion, that does power through everything, right? Because that is now toxic masculinity. That's what they call it, right? So here's a man that in that moment of being so upset and disappointed, instead of saying some ridiculous outbursts, whatever, he just walked out to process his thoughts, clear his head. I am disappointed that we are not giving him the chance to do that because the man said it clearly in the post. His life, his dream, everything that he has been working towards, all the money he's saving, house that he's probably bought, everything that he has built just got sliced in half because
not
he's
sliced in half. It got
pretty
like
much destroyed.
nothing, nada.
He just got destroyed. This man wanted a real family. Granted, we cuss man all the while, say, oh, man was pouring down and then us have picnic, gone about their business left. But no, this man went and got a wife. He probably has a good job because he was on a business trip. He's putting in the work for a real family, right? And he just got the news. So all that in a vein, literally. For me, he has the right to react the way that he did. He has the right to go down and go sit down for an hour or half a day or half a night, whatever, and think about this. His life is not going to be the same after today. So for everybody to be going to town on this man, like, oh, you're an asshole, you should have been there for your wife, you should have been selfless and selfish because this is a disease, nobody planned for cancer. Of course, I hear all of that, and that's true, but allow the man to grieve. He just lost his family. Literally, the one that he was planning for, the one in his head, is gone.
So do you think, okay, so do you think it's a, so because earlier, we talked about, you brought up like there's a double standard. Because do you believe that there's a double standard here in terms of we have women that if they're with a man and let's say he was an affluent rich man and then he lost all his money, they will have no qualms about ditching him and going like deuces, because you are not you I know cannot live. You promised me a certain kind of life. I know that you can't deliver that certain kind of life. As a woman, I'm out because like you love don't pay the bills. So do you think that the people who are in the comments were going at him were reinforcing that double standard?
Yes, in certain regards. Because in certain concept, for example, and because tell me if I'm going too far. Because for me, this is an event that destroys a family, right? If if although this is health, this is cancer, this is a medical issue, it has to me the same emotional impact, just the same if it was an event that destroys a family. So just like a woman, if you find out your man is cheating on you, you're allowed to react, you're allowed to go crazy, you're allowed to, get a divorce. You're allowed. That's my thing. You are allowed to express yourself in that moment how you choose. You see me? This man should have been allowed that. The internet, whoever, should not go to town on this man for expressing his grief for what he has lost. Also, one of the things that I get from the post, because like I said, with someone cheating, you just lost the identity or the idea of a monogamous marriage. When the other partner cheats, you lose that. So you have lost something, an ideal that you have in your head. Right. And you're allowed to express yourself. The man just lose his ideal for what he thought of families, what he wanted. He wanted a biological family. You understand? He just lost that. For me, he's allowed to vent, to grieve that, to deal with that emotion. So for you to tell him like, yo, he's less of a man, you're reinforcing the idea of men being emotionless. That's what's really like to me is probably getting to me, because you're reinforcing the idea that men are emotionless. You just got a major loss and you should just sit there and take it and smile. Rubber hand and rubber hand, like, baby, it's okay, it's okay. And then probably later in the night, go in the corner and cry. But never make nobody see you cry though. Make nobody see you react, because you're not a man. You're less than a man if you show any form of emotion.
Hold on, here's the thing. And reading the comments too, a lot of people were saying, yes, he's an asshole because, the whole point of him talking about, his real family that he wanted. Because he wanted children from her, not some adopted kids, he wanted children from her. So I think the issue was, I'm not saying that issue that he had okay. All right. Here's I think he was selfish.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna just say.
Go ahead.
I think in that moment he was selfish. You know why? Because in that particular moment it wasn't about him. In that particular moment it was about her. As a woman, mind you, yes, he's not gonna have his family. However, there's a stigma already attached to women who, remember back in the day, people call them barren. There's already a stigma attached to women who can have kids, and you're seen as less than because you can't have kids. So in the moment when the doctor gave them that news, it was about both of them. It wasn't just about him, and it wasn't about her. And in a sense, it was about him and it was about her, but it was about both of them. You know what I'm saying? So in that moment, what you want your spouse to do is to be able to be with you in that moment so that you guys can grieve together in that moment. Even if he then had to say, yo, I need to go.
I need a minute.
I need a
Yeah,
minute.
I need a minute. I need
But
to go in the bathroom stall and cry.
imagine you as a female, you sitting there, you get this bad news. And it's not like, you know, your head, because for the main fact that she already started saying to him, baby, we can do this, we can adopt. She already know that, holy shit, my relationship is in trouble. So once she got the news that she has cancer, she can't even process that yet. Because now she's thinking like, I'm losing my husband. So not only did I lose all my female parts, right? And as they said, the bun in the oven maker. No, I'm about to lose this man that I love, and I'm in doing this life thing with, right? So now she's looking like, yo, we can adopt, blah blah. And what he did was look at her and just got up and walk out. As a person in that moment when they needed each other. Like, that is such a blow. If I had a husband who did that to me, I don't know if it, I don't know. I don't know if that would hurt so deep. That would hurt so deep. I don't even know if I could like forgive him. Like, that is like, that's hurtful. It's not like he said, he's not, to me, it's not like he even said, he said to his wife, do like, I need to go, I need to go process this. I'm sorry, but I need just give me some space. I need to breathe. He didn't say that. He just shook his head, got up, took his little bag, his little traveling case, and walked out the room.
Was in his car. Was already in his car. So he just walked out.
So it's like, to me,
but here's the thing.
Right there, to me, it was selfish. And for me, okay, I was talking to someone earlier today, and she made the point. She says, okay, people act differently to trauma. You cannot tell people how to act
exactly
when there's trauma. So there's trauma for her and trauma for him. And the way he behaved was because that's how he behaves in a situation of trauma. I get that, but to me, that also signifies that emotionally, he's immature. Because if you had emotional maturity, that trauma wouldn't propel you, to me, to act in that way. You would know how to navigate in order to, yes, self-care, because you need to take care of, because it seems like from the article, he needed time, because he's like, after he was away for a day, he was able to.
He was there for like a night.
He was able to regulate, and it seems like he was ready to go back home to be with his wife. That's what it seems.
Yeah, he said he's not ready to deal with whatever is going to come.
You know what I mean? But I feel like he could have, it's not just, to me, it's not what he did, but how he did it. You know what I mean? Like, he could have said, like, babe, I'm words. Like, you know, they say to kids, use your words. Use your words. Use your words. Like, babe, I'm hurt. I'm angry. I need to walk away. I need to walk away.
But again,
time. Let me clear my mind. That's it. That, to me, that would have put me as a wife at ease, because I know, guess what? He's coming back. I wouldn't feel abandoned, like, yo, he just left me. You'd feel like, okay, he's coming back. And that is security. And women need security. Emotional security, financial security, mental security. Women are big on security.
Hence why the idea, as I said before, is propelled that men should be bricks, rocks of concrete that women anchor to, right? So when the boat rocks, you look to your husband, he's going to be that person that breaks through the storm. That in itself, because here's the thing, why that it sounds good on paper, but we're now realizing that it leads to so much other negative stuff. Like,
What
for
leads to so many
example,
stuff?
like when men are not allowed to express themselves, it leads to them not being able to communicate. So that's why some people communicate with fists. Some men, if you get them angry, domestic violence, they punch out your face. Because here's the thing that one of the things that I saw in the post where he says that I'm angry because one, I just lost my family. Secondly, he's angry because he has begged. Because here's the thing, you're saying the man is selfish, but here's the next thing. He says, I have begged my wife from us, we've been 26, that's been 7 years. Because you're now 33, 32, from 26, almost 7 years. I have begged my wife, like, yo, let us have children. Yeah? I want a family. We're getting older. Let us make plans. Here's my thing, because this man is carrying resentment. To the level of anger that he had, how he walked out of that, he's resentful. He's mad, man.
Okay.
So my question is, let me finish. My question is, how did these conversations end when they brought him up over the 7 years about it? Because he's saying that his wife keeps saying like, yo, I don't want kids because of my career. So I'm looking at it, and I'm assuming here, but based on the level of anger that this man has, his wife is going to be like, yo, no, we ain't doing that. Because I'm going to school, I'm doing this, we ain't doing that. Women empowerment, I ain't doing that. I'm not your baby making oven. You're going to wait. We're going to do this, but you're going to do it on my time. It's my body, blah, blah, blah. So you can now look at that and say, that's selfish. Because now you're in a union with a man. I'm thinking you should have communicated. And here's one of the things. Comes right by down to communication. When you're getting married, and this, I think not parents, people should have this conversation about babies. When do you want to have them? How much do you want to have? This is a conversation you need to have before you even get married.
Money.
Understand? So there's no back and forth and this tug and war after we get married and blah, 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 because this is an important part of getting married. People marry because they want stability. Why? Because most time they want a family. Like they want kids.
And you're right. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I open it by saying this man has probably been working for this for the last 7 years.
More than that.
Time, his money, everything up to this point. Him finding a wife, finding a woman in love. He's been working towards this goal of having a family. So you literally just tell the man like, yo, you're not gonna have that. So his wife, I understand why she did that in that moment, but that wasn't it. Like for him being that angry, and then you look at him and, oh baby, we can adopt. But the man is gonna be like, yo, but we probably have this conversation already. I told you I don't want no adopted kids. I told you I want a family. So now you're looking at me, now that you're unable to do it, after you put this on hold for 7 years, you're now telling me, oh, we can adopt.
I don't think.
Mad. He's upset.
Hold on. I don't think. I agree with you in the sense that he's like, she knows. Period. I want children. But it doesn't seem that they had the follow-up conversations. Like,
no, communication was not it. Wasn't good there.
What if I can't have kids? Because we're working on the assumption that every woman can have babies. There are some women, all your parents are just fine, but for whatever reason, you just can't have kids. So she was getting older. She was like 33.
32. He was 33.
Right? In her 30s. So I'm thinking like, my question is, like you said, did they have those follow-up conversations? They had the conversation of, yes, do we both want to have kids? Yes. Okay. Now the timing, they disagreed on. He wanted at 26. She's saying, nope, I got to get my career in. Okay, fine. But now the question is, did they have those follow-up conversations? I'm getting older. So what if now I can have kids? What if, I mean, like he says, I'm healthy, all my parts seem to be working right, but for whatever reason, we cannot have children. What are we gonna do then? Because that's a conversation worth having. If your non-negotiable is, if you can't have kids, I need to move on. We need to know that up front. Yes,
Yes.
we need to know that
Yes.
up front. If your non-negotiable is, if you can't have kids, I am not open to adopting. We need to know that up front. If you guys can say, okay, if I can't have kids, you don't want to adopt. No. Are you open to surrogacy?
Exactly.
No, if
That's
you
it.
are, then we have to talk about where's the money going to come from, and we have to plan for that. Or in open, more open, or relationships, the lady could say, okay, if I can't have kids, I'm okay with you going out and impregnating another woman.
It's like getting a second wife.
You know, a girlfriend, wife, whatever. Go impregnate some other person, and you have kids then because I can't give you any. Like,
And we raise them together.
But that's all a part of having like the unpleasant type of conversations, because a lot of times we go into relationship, marriage, business, whatever it is, we look at all the good stuff. Oh, we might be successful. Oh, this is gonna be
Yep.
great. But what if it's not though?
Then
So
what?
what if we assume that, oh, he won't. So what if he cheats? Or what if I can't have children? Or what if he can? What if his
What
sperm
if what if you meet in like exactly? What if you have cancer tomorrow, and
yes,
all of a sudden you lose a leg, you lose an eye, you lose an arm? Like people and
like what are we?
like the marriage vow says like to death do us part, sickness and health. It sounds great. It sounds great when you say it on paper. It's wonderful. But how many people? This brings you to the question like how many people are really prepared for that? Right? How many people discuss that before you put the ring on the finger? Like how it's all about prepare. It's like nobody wants to plan. It's like for example writing a will. Nobody wants to write a will because nobody wants to think about the idea of dying.
But it's
Although dying is a definite
like
like
death
a
is
definite possibility. You are going to perish at
happening.
some point.
You will die.
You will die.
When you
So
don't know, but you will.
why is it that we find it so difficult, like to write a will?
Because
Why is it
it's
so
that
to
scariness,
discuss
like you
this?
said, it's that scariness of death. Like you're thinking about, you have to bring your mind to the spot where you can think
Like I
about.
will not exist anymore. At some point, I will cease to exist.
You have to think about it. Who wants to think about that? Me, not. Who people avoid by natural tendencies. We tend to avoid negative and uncomfortable things. And listen, dealing with negative and uncomfortable things is like a muscle. To me, it's like a skill and a muscle that you have to develop. It's a skill and a muscle. And if you don't develop it, and you develop it also by having hard conversations, difficult conversations. We talked about this last week. You develop that skill and muscle by having difficult conversations, having those hard conversations where you can make it through the end of those conversations with, I am mad, you're mad, but we need to talk about this. I feel some kind of way, you feel some kind of way, but we still have to talk about it and come to some kind of, either we go agree to disagree or something. But a lot of times we can't because the emotions are so high, and we don't know how to manage. We don't even regulate ourselves so that we can have the conversation. So we avoid, we do all type of negative things just to like get out on the hot seat.
And one of those negative things is running,
Yeah,
which the guy clearly demonstrated. He bolted out of there.
he
He
sure
was like, "Yep, I'm gone.
hell out of dodge.
I'm gone."
This is too much.
Yes,
I got
and
to go.
and as I said, and it's you have to allow people to feel. What I'm learning in my personal life is like you cannot, just like the person you're talking to saying, you cannot tell people how to react. You have to learn. Because even his mother-in-law now is like, yo, don't come back. So it's like it comes right back to the same thing. And this is where I said I have issued with. You have to allow people to react. They will not react the way how we would like, how society would like, how the best possible option, like the best option was, as you said, hold his wife's hand, saying like, "Oh baby, we gonna make it." But give me a minute, let me go cry
I'm
in the
not
bathroom.
even going as far as
But
holding hand and say, baby, we'll make it. I'm not even going as far as that. I'm just going as far as saying being present in the moment with her, with the bad news. Don't lie. Oh, baby, we gonna make it. Don't lie. Don't do that. Because you know that you don't know if y'all gonna make it. Because you don't know if you want this woman with her cancer and her inability to have kids. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And so don't do that. I'm just saying sit in the moment with her, with this news.
so
And just
question.
be like, yo, we'll deal with this.
So
We'll talk about all them other things later. No, we just be here. Just be present.
but here's the thing. Some people can be physically there but not mentally there. Because he could stay and just be dead. Like he has nothing
And
to say.
again, that's where the communication comes in. I feel like if he had just said to her, listen, I just need to breathe. Just give me, I need to breathe. Just because if you're with somebody and you're with them for how long they've been together, you know how they function. You know how they work. So by him saying to you, I just need to breathe. Just I need to just get out of here. Give me a minute. So you know what I'm saying? She already knows. He.
But that's what probably like in between the lines of the post, you could probably see that they probably don't have the best communication.
Exactly.
They don't.
They don't.
Because if he's gonna say, "Yo, I'm begging you for kids," and her answer every minute is like, "Yo, wait till I get my career on the way." He didn't say like, "Okay, we came to consensus of going to have kids when we are 35." It still seemed at that point it was still up in the air. Like it's going to happen, but we don't know when. But it's still there. So now it's no longer up in the air. It's fallen on the ground and it's gone now. It's broken. The dream is gone.
And just
So
the fact that he said he had, because it's important the words he used. He said he had built up anger. So therefore,
yes,
he's been sitting on 7 years worth of anger and bitterness and towards his wife. Because the first thing he said was, yes, I'm angry at this cancer, but I'm angry at you because I've been begging you all this time, and now because of this, I won't be able to have my kids. So you could tell that they've had the conversation, and he's like, okay, I'm sitting here and I'm waiting, but all that time, but he has had all this pent up resentment towards her because he was not in agreement with it, but he can't force her.
Exactly. He can't force his wife. And that's why I'm saying it seemed like just from the post, people are going at him because in that moment, he walked out. Bad communication, sure. But that's how he felt and he walked out. But for me, I'm like, what were the conversations like before? What were the conversations with his wife? Was his wife be like, yo, I'm a career woman, like, I'll do it, I'm ready. Like, was she always like putting him down, not giving him a definite time, like always?
Like,
other words, otherwise every time he brought this up, it turned into an argument, and she's like, "You're forcing me to do this, and I'm not ready. It's my goodness." And he like, and being a man, you don't want to. Because you have a saying in America, "Happy wife, happy life." You don't want to be having this conversation and your woman going off and then seeing like you're exactly the same words that people use. You don't want to seem like you're a selfish man and she's a baby making machine. So you're gonna force her to have your baby. You don't want to seem like that. No, so you're gonna be like, okay, babe, whenever. But he's waiting. He's waiting.
But here's the other thing. At the end of the day, a marriage is on a spiritual plane, but it's on a contractual plane again also. When two people enter into a contract, they decide, okay, what's in this contract? We both agree on.
Why you need to negotiate.
It is a contract.
Terms and conditions.
And then when shit happens, you have to go back and say, all right, we need to renegotiate this contract or amend this contract. Because if he wants
resolve it,
there should be a conversation, be like, okay, I want kids now, you want kids later. So let's have a date in the middle. What is the age that we are going to start? Because I'm not just gonna sit here and just
wait until you're ready. Just wait until you're ready.
And I don't think it's unfair for me. I don't think it's unfair for a man to say to a woman, listen, if I want kids now, you want kids later, or vice versa, for them to sit down and say, okay, where can we meet in the middle if we still want to be together? What is the age that we both can be comfortable with, that we can say at this age we will start attempting to have kids? Because I think I'm assuming, but if they had that discussion, he wouldn't have said, I've been begging for 7 years. He would have said,
exactly,
we decided to have kids at 35 and
they smash up the whole plan.
It wouldn't be like, I've been begging and she was unwilling. It would have been like, we both decided this is where we're gonna.
Because the word that he used.
Yeah.
They say you have to pay attention to the words that he used.
Words he
said begging.
He said he's
literally begging. So that gives me as a reader that this woman was unreasonable. Like she was like, yo, no, we're not doing this. So as much as
unreasonable, I was just saying that she was exercising her right as a woman to say, I don't want to do it now. But I think there should have been a okay, but when? You know, like okay, are we doing it when you turn 35? Is it like a career thing? Like when? When are we? Is it when you get when? What is when?
Understand? But then I like the word that you used. You said exercise her right.
She is.
So that's for me. I'm like, yo, this man was exercising his right
to walk
get
away.
Go. Because he's mad. Like you said, he said it like people deal with anger differently. Some people shut down. Some people punch things. Some people break things. Some people cry. Some people deal with this is anger. And this is not sadness, you know. This is anger. He said it straight in the post. I am angry. He's mad. And people deal with anger differently.
And he said he was overwhelmed.
He was you understand? Because you're
like he's overwhelmed.
It's not like saying a loving wife.
And she's overwhelmed with sadness. Like both of them are, you know, on different planes, but overwhelmed.
That's why when this mother-in-law come in about if he stay when there, she need to go back her yard.
No,
she need to go back her yard.
Wait a minute. So that's the part I was gonna bring up. I was like,
she needs to go back her yard. Allow the people and make the people them go discuss their marriage and what their life will go after this. How you reach that is going to tell him at the time when
I'm thinking.
Go home.
No,
go home.
To me, overstep her boss.
Of course.
Big time. Big time.
No right to come call him and tell you stay with party there. Oh, me that the man there, me ain't get the call me at that the time them me I go over there. Cause me want you can't tell me so me can't see me wife.
Yeah.
Yes, because me not pretend like and the thing about it, he admitted it. He realized what he did wasn't the best reaction. But he clearly outlined why he reacted that way, how he felt. Now his mind is clear. He's ready to deal with it. Yes, I granted, she's hurt. I ain't gonna pretend. He's gonna have a lot of work to do. If he's gonna keep his marriage, he has a lot of work to do.
They both have a lot of work
to do. Be ready for that. He has to be ready for that. Okay?
Towards her, and
but
she's
now
a bunch of guilt. They both have a lot of work to do.
So
if their marriage, if they can come out of this, their marriage they'll be married till they're dead. If they can both, but it's gonna take a lot of forgiveness, patience, like therapy, like nobody's business, and the mother-in-law staying the heck over her house.
Yes.
That's it.
She needs to stay over her yard. She not invited.
Or if she come to your house, she shut the hell up.
She's there for moral support for her daughter. That's great, and I know it's her daughter. And nobody wants to see their kids hurt. But when your kids find a husband, find a wife, whatever, and I hope when I become a parent, I also learn this when I get older. At some point, you just got to sit down and shut up.
You need to back
up. So if the man didn't come back and he sent a message like, yo, it's over, whatever, be there for your daughter. Support her. Be the shoulder for her to cry on. All of that. That's great. But don't take up your phone and call them and tell them say
So
where
where
I need
you
to
at?
stay.
Wherever you are, you at the
Where
hotel.
you wherever like because impression that he like she's giving is like, oh, you have already dumped my daughter, then find a new model, find a chick that's gonna give you your baby. So guess what? Stay where you are. No, the man felt what he felt. He went away to process. Was it the best reaction?
And to show
No.
you.
But I feel for me, where I am dying on the hill is that, and I said this from the start, I feel it's still within his right to react the way that he did. It is his right as a human being to react the way that he did. Maybe not the way that we wanted. It may have not been perfect. It could have been done better ways, sure. But he has the right to react the way that he did. The question is, what do you do now?
Yeah.
From the post, he's like, yo, I've done, I've processed it, I'm ready now. But his mother-in-law go come and say, oh, still you there? Go home, nigga. Woman, go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
And whether
Now
or
leave them
not,
and they do their thing.
that mother-in-law, she overstepped big time. Like she needs to back all the way up. Like right now is not the time for you to be sowing discord. Because
No,
here's the thing.
because
And
this is emotional for both of them. And that's the thing. And then I think that's the point that's probably lost on the internet. This is emotional for both of them. Yes, the wife is sick. Yes, it's a terrible time for her. Of course, she just go lose all her woman parts. But this is also a terrible time for him. Because, like, I don't like the idea, like, he should have somehow just put his emotions aside. Your thing where you're saying, like, yes, he should have been like, yo, just give me a minute. That's the optimal and the great thing to do. But it's like, based on the response that I'm seeing, like, that, the comments that really got me upset. I'm like, these people are like, this man should have put his feelings aside, push all that shit aside, and just be there for his wife. No, he's feeling it too. He has the right to feel.
But you know they say, like when you're on the airplane, they say in case of a crash, you put the oxygen on your face first, and then you put the oxygen on the other person. I feel like this was kind of like that. Like he wants to be there for her, but he's saying, I need to put on this oxygen mask so that I can deal with you in a proper way. Because without this oxygen mask, we both gonna die and we both gonna like end up in a wreck.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the, for him needing that space to process emotion, I agree with you. I just feel like
Should have done
in
it
that
differently.
to make that transition, he should have communicated. Like there's two people here. You should have communicated that segue. I need some time. Or just say, it's just that. Just give me some time. You don't have to explain nothing. Just, babe, just give me a minute. I need to go. I need to go. I need
But
to
yo,
clear my mind. And
like,
leave.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. But maybe I'm reading too much into this. Tell me if I'm reading too much into this.
I'll tell you.
But to me, he seems to have a possessive wife. Possessive in the sense that she's like the one that tries to call the shots. She's the one that kind of like she's to set the tone. So he is like in the case of like
How
she's
you
like
come to
power.
that conclusion?
Let me show you where my train of thought is. I could be wrong, but she seems the one that has like the power dynamic in the relationship because it's not about the money or whatever. But in each relationship, someone has like a power dynamic, right? So in most cases, like it's the man, he sets the tone, whatever. Because what I find interesting, immediately after, because you're looking at the sympathetic side, like, oh, she's considering him. But immediately after the doctor be like, yo, you can't have kids no more. She's already at like, yo, let's adopt. She's already at like, it's not even surrogate. It's not even, they don't even discuss nothing yet. It's not even surrogate. It's not even get a next woman. It's not even like, can we save my eggs and put them into a next person that surrogate? So it's still their children, but somebody else carries the physical baby. She's not even there. She's already like, yo, you're gonna be okay. We can adopt.
Or maybe she knows what was at stake. I disagree. I feel like
Wait,
there's
because the reason why I'm
feel
saying that
like
too is because of what he said further in the post about begging his wife, and she seemed to go on that be always be like, yo, nah, let's wait. you know, I'm doing this for my career. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do that.
But
You got away.
that to me still does not give evidence that she is the power broker in the relationship, because
I don't know.
to me
Because
that still doesn't say that, because in a relationship, two people have to agree on whatever needs to be done. So not because somebody says no, it doesn't
in
mean
the ideal
they're a power
relationship, that's
broker.
true.
It doesn't mean that
But
they're the ones in charge, and not, you know what I mean, like they have. I feel like at the time, if you realize that this is a non-negotiable for him, and you're freaking out because the possibility of him leaving you just like skyrocketed. If it's somebody you love, I feel like you will grasp at any straw. And that's how
I will admit
I looked at
that
it.
possibility is true. But where my mind went, I think that possibility is true as well.
So I
I
don't
think
know.
both can be true. So it could be one, you know, she's just grasping at straws. It could be two, because the fact that he's so angry and resentful, it sounds like to me like he feels disenfranchised, like he doesn't feel
No,
like he have a
no.
voice.
Or
Maybe
maybe him just
could
wanted,
be, because like I said, I could be reading too deep into
or
this.
he may be one of them people who just walk around and have up people. You know, you have people like that. Them
Exactly. So
him just
so
him have her up. It's not that he wanted to have kids. She said no, and there are people like that who, and to me there is more evidence for me to say he may be one of those people who have a people, because immediately when he heard the news, what did he do? He immediately went to me, I'm out.
but he process, but the man tell us saying overwhelmed. He go and go
Right?
process the information.
But
He
listen,
process the emotions. He
remember
calm down
this?
and now he ready for whatever and he
Wait a
ready
minute.
to go back.
In Jamaica, them say now, when trouble take you, pitney shot fit you. Yeah. So and then there are a couple of things that you see people self when they pressure. When them under pressure,
Pressure bust pipe.
pressure bust pipe. When you're under pressure, no matter how nice you seem to be and how you see when you're under that pressure, that person that you really are at your core comes bubbling up. When you have money and power, the person that you really are, that's why some people are like, oh, him get rich and switch. Oh no, he didn't switch. He was already a mean ass person, but now that he has no restraint, he can just fully be who he is. So for me,
Yep.
this trauma, this pressure just, but so now when he was able to regulate, he's like, oh, that wasn't right. I need to fix that.
It, it could go either way. It could go either way. Because you see the thing about intention, because any action, trust me, just face value, it could look one way, like somebody
His
feeding
intent
the
wasn't.
poor. It looks great, like, oh my God, this person is so charity giving and ray. But they're doing it because it's
They're
part of some greater scheme to get this sponsorship over here that worth millions.
broker move.
So they don't really care about the poor.
Don't
So,
care about the poor. Let me
so
kiss
it's
baby.
all about intention.
Like babies.
It's all about intention.
About the intent.
And but what is clear from the post is that they're both hurt. He's hurt because his dream of a family just got shattered.
Just got shattered, man.
Just got shattered. And like as I'm saying, he's allowed to feel what he feels.
And you know what? Let's also say this. And let's just be clear. And it's harsh, but not everybody is built to take certain kind of things. Because some people, their foundation goes deep and they can withstand like a heavy load. And this man might not be that man who can stand by a wife that is suffering for. Because the other thing I was going to bring up, and people tend to not also see, when you are the caretaker for someone that is ill,
It's
okay?
stressful as hell.
Caretaking for
People,
someone
and
that is
sometimes
ill,
people when they get sick, they get mean.
very, very stressful. And someone that is ordinarily a nice person, you see them abusing. That's why you have so much elder abuse. And like, because it is so much pressure that some people, they're not built for it. And if this man is not built for it, I agree with what people are saying in the post. They need to cut ties. It's gonna be hard for her in the beginning, but it's better you be around someone who is built for that, because this man emotionally, mentally might not be built for it, and he might not be willing to expand to even see if he is. And I would prefer him to be honest with himself and be like, yo, I love you, but I can't handle this.
Can't do this.
I can't.
And that comes right back down to having that hard conversation. Like, who wants to hear that?
Nobody wants to hear that.
Because I remember this guy that I met years ago named John. He met in an accident and he broke his neck. And the doctors told him, like, yo, you may never walk again. You never use your hands, like you're paralyzed on the neck down. And his wife left him. His wife was like, yo, I can't do this. I'm out. And she left. And he actually recovered. It took him years, but he got back to the point where he could walk, do everything on his own. Right? So his wife for years, they have kids. And he's saying, and the story that he said is that one day he was like jogging and his wife drove past him. And like one of the kids in the car be like, yo, that's dad. And when the wife realized it was him, she started to cry. She wrote down and cried. Because now she had left him in that moment because she wasn't able to deal with it, thinking that, yo, this guy's gonna be crippled for life. I can't deal with this. But now he fully recovered. He's okay, doing everything for himself. And now she feels sad. So she cried. So it comes right back to the point. Some people are just not built for certain things.
Some people aren't. And you prefer, I would prefer to be with someone who, honestly to goodness, wants to be there, or is actually open to, because there's some people who say they want to, but inside they really know that they don't and they're faking it. But someone who truly is open to listen. I don't know where this is gonna go, but I'm willing to try. You know what I mean? And that's being honest and sincere. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm willing to try. That is better than someone faking it. And then that's where you're going to have abuse, because they're going to be resentful. They're going to be angry. Next thing you know, like, why aren't you moving, and kick you and roll you and push you off the bed, all type of things. And so you want to be with someone that really is open.
But like I said, at the end of the post, he seems like he was there mentally now, and he was like willing to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think he should be given a chance. His wife should give him a chance to see what comes of this. So like I said, the mother-in-law telling him to stay.
Oh yeah, we agree on that. That mother-in-law needs to pull our
they need to now have a conversation.
Yeah. The mother-in-law
from that conversation, they decide what they're going to do.
Yeah, the mother-in-law need to completely hold our corner. She was out of line, out of everything. Okay, I think we've discussed this at length. So peeps, guess what?
Join the exchange. What do you think? What is like as the post said on Reddit? Am I an asshole?
Yeah.
Was he an asshole?
We need to know. Tell us what you think. And if there's a point that
I don't think he was an asshole.
I'm still.
I don't think so. I'm on the side that says he's not an asshole. Trina is saying that he's an asshole. So
I'm an 80% asshole giver. I'm giving him an 80% on that one. He's not a full asshole, but he's at 80%. He could have do better. He could have do better. He could have do a little bit better.
Done better, but I'm not going to give him the A.
But I'm calling fall on the play for that mother-in-law. She out of line,
she's an asshole.
She's an asshole. How dare you? And you know what? Here's the other thing. We can make a different video upon this. We need to talk about in-laws. No, that's a video.
I think
them need for
probably what we can do It's probably make a series on parenting. You can start from child rearing, go straight up to when you put in them big and now they're married.
Make we do it now. I'm
Yes, so
open to the
don't
challenge.
worry.
Don't worry about that. It's
Don't
coming.
worry about that. The exchange is coming. The
And
exchange is
exchange
coming.
for you.
But peeps, this is it.
Yes. Rate, comment. Please hit the like button. That helps us
And
with the algorithm.
subscribe. If
For
some of
you.
you already subscribed, so
Yeah.
rate and like.
Rate and
Like
like.
and share your views. We want the comments.
Join the
We'll be responding to the comments.
And again, remember our tagline. Whether you're nasty or you can't see, clean up your heart and come. Let's talk. Until next time, goodbye.